Ladies and gentlemen, that is exactly how you bounce back off of an awful loss to a divisional opponent. The Buffalo Bills just defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 44-32. Now, on today's video, obviously, I would like to give praise where praise is deserved. We have to shout out players of the game. We also need to talk about things we need from this team to improve on, because while we put up 44 points, which is immaculate, there's still a lot of problems on the defensive side of the football. Still some things that are wonky with Josh Allen, some of his throws, some of his decisions. But for the most part, I feel like we cannot be upset. As you're coming in, please do me a favor, hit that thumbs up sign, subscribe to the channel as well. We are so close to 50,000 subscribers. I believe that we can get there. All right. Lock in. Let's talk about this damn game. Buffalo Bills defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 44-32. And I'm not sure about you guys, but at the beginning of this game, man, I was seeing a lot of the things that were plaguing the Buffalo Bills for the past couple of weeks, or since we lost to the Atlanta Falcons, since we lost to the New England Patriots. Like turning the football over, that interception from Josh Allen when we were pinned into our own end zone, that little shuffle pass that was picked off immediately, that just put a giant pit in my stomach. I was telling myself, oh my God, here we go again. You know, turning the football over. Like, we already heard the drama surrounding this team with Keon Coleman being benched just a few hours before game day. I just felt weird about this one, and that certainly didn't help. Followed by another interception from Josh, the fumble from Mecole Hardman, a couple of throws from Josh that were off, like deep downfield. But boy, oh boy, did we turn it around, man. And I got to tell you, let's just start off with the offense here. Players of the game. Let's talk about JA-17. You know what? All season long, this guy has been, I would say, pretty uncomfortable. Now, I have unpacked a lot of the advanced analytics where I tried pinpointing or pointing a finger as into what the problem could have been. I had a theory that him not operating out of shotgun was impairing him getting into rhythm. But with Joe Brady, he did a lot of that today. Josh Allen was out of shotgun the most that I think I have seen all season long. Then you bring in Gabe Davis, somebody that he is very, very comfortable with. You have Josh Palmer has returned. He had a great game, a couple of great instances and tape where he was creating separation and man coverage. You got to love it. But 19 for 30, 317 yards, 3 touchdowns in the air. And then you ultimately end up giving Josh Allen 3 touchdowns on the ground. Fun fact, somebody just pointed this out to me. There has only ever been 2 quarterbacks to ever have 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in a single game. And that was 2 of them, and both of them were Josh Allen. That is absolutely nuts. You see what happens when Josh Allen takes what the defense gives him. Beautiful things happen when a quarterback takes what the defense gives him. It opens up everything, something that Josh has not been doing for the past couple of weeks. And I am so thrilled that he was able to take that next step. Shout out to QB1. I want to see more consistency. Some of you might get upset sometimes. Maybe you feel like I'm too critical on QB1. I have to be, folks. He's getting paid $55 million a year. You're damn right that I expect perfection. We're not going to be going up against a team that has half of their stars on the injured reserve. We need perfection from QB1, especially with some of our defensive woes, but we'll get to the defense. As far as players on the offense, right? Like this Tampa Bay Buccaneers team shut down the run for the most part, you know, held James Cook to only 16 carries, 48 yards, 3 yards on average. This run defense is among one of the best in the league. I knew going into this game that we had to get the passing attack figured out. So, liked what I saw from James Cook on that final touchdown drive. However, for the most part, Tampa Bay did have answers, and this passing game ended up stepping up, which has been an issue for this team for the most part. But damn, let's talk about these wide receivers. How about Terrell Shavers? Man, you know what? It's funny. like maybe some of these players watch this channel, because I feel like anytime I ever criticize anybody, the following game, they just go nuclear. And Terrell Shavers, for the past couple of weeks, I often mentioned, you know what? Like, he was just a camp sweetheart, and Buffalo is just so thin at the wide receiving position that they were going to give it to him, since he's had great camps back-to-back years. But holy hell, have a day, Terrell. 4 receptions for 90 yards. Now, this guy was finding space like anybody's business. You typically hear people talk about this and they say, oh, like wide receivers aren't creating separation, or like you'll hear people celebrate separation. Separation does not help when defenses are running zone coverage. What helps is when wide receivers are capable of finding space. And Terrell Shavers was finding space all night long. When you talk about that term separation, you want separation in man coverage situations. Terrell Shavers did his job here, and Josh Allen appears to be gaining some sort of chemistry with the guy. And I got to tell you, very, very happy with what I saw. And how about, for the love of all that is holy, how long have we been talking about that this Buffalo Bills team needs to incorporate running backs in the passing game, right? Thank God James Cook and Ty Johnson, both for over 120 combined. 3 receptions for James Cook. You had 2 for Ty Johnson, both for well over 60 yards. And you add a touchdown on top of that. What a day. Like, this Buffalo Bills team was operating smoothly. Gabe Davis, 3 receptions, 40 yards, 13.3 on average. I got to tell you, that one drive where Buffalo was sitting at 4th and 2, 4th and 3, my blood pressure was at an all-time high. But of course, you have Gabe Davis on a quick slant, something that Keon Coleman is asked to run very, very often. He comes down with it, making a damn play. It's the chemistry. The chemistry is indeed something that Josh has needed. It's pretty clear that he trusts Gabe Davis out there. And I got to tell you, I'm happy. I'm happy, as you should be. And same thing with Josh Palmer. Like I said, a great slant route in man coverage. Crazy separation. Only 2 receptions. I could imagine we're probably going to scale his utilization up a bit more as the season goes along. He's coming off of an injury. I'm completely fine with it. But let's go over to the defense, because we need to be able to give the defense, I suppose, flowers to a sense. Maybe I'll start off with the positives of the defense before I get to the negatives, because I can tell you that the negatives of the defense is going to last for a significant amount of time. Number 1, giant shout out to our friend Cole Bishop. Cole Bishop deserves all the flowers on the face of the planet right now, folks. It's funny because a lot of people were trying to pin that he was a bust at the safety position. I always made it somewhat reasonable, and I gave him the benefit of the doubt because I understood his rookie season. He missed all of training camp. Really didn't get going until about midway through the season. And even then, he had a significant time without reps that hindered his development within the league. Same exact thing happened to him this year in training camp. Comes back, and now we're finally starting to see what this Buffalo Bills team saw in him. He is an animal. Do you see how aggressive he is at the tackle point? Interception for the young man. Completely a momentum shifter for this team. I understand that Tampa Bay put up 32 points on us, but damn. When Buffalo needed to make a play, Buffalo ended up making a play. Forced fumble on Baker Mayfield, right? That pick from Cole Bishop. We got back to our turnover ways. We really, really did. Shout out to Daquan Jones for the sack. I mean, big time right there. Like, have to give him a little bit of love. But let's talk a little bit about the problem with this defense in my eyes. I am convinced that Bobby Babich has taken over play calling responsibilities again. Okay. And we heard that Sean McDermott and him were sort of collabing on the defense for the past couple of weeks. You cannot convince me that Babich has taken over the reins entirely again. So many frustrating things happen schematically with this unit. It's not so much personnel base. Number 1, like, what was up with Maxwell Harrison snaps today? Like, why did I see a lot of Tre'Davious White? I'm going to have to wait for the final snap counts. I'm going to have to wait for the all 22, but like rolling Trey White out there, especially as Max Harrison is healthy and ready to go, like that's just nuts to me. That is just absolutely nuts. And how this defense has been running as far as scheme going into the game, and there's no way you can't tell me that the coaching staff didn't know this. Baker Mayfield destroys zone coverage. It is clear as day. I know that the Buffalo Bills team front office has an analytics division that is able to point these things out. And you just don't run zone coverage against a player like Baker Mayfield. It is clear as day, statistically, especially with how this team was operating, that you have to run man coverage if, for example, you wanted to slow them down. Yes, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beat us on a couple of reps in man, but the most infuriating thing for me was on a couple of specific third and long situations where Tampa is really not that elite in third down conversions. You got to run man coverage in situations like that. Tez Johnson and Emeka Egbuka are not very fast wide receivers. I trust Benford and to run alongside Emeka Egbuka. I trust Maxwell Harrison to run alongside with a 4.6 40 Tez Johnson. Like, we need to be better situationally. Like, Sean McDermott needs to step in, because if I'm sitting here saying that that's the answer to third and long inefficiencies within this team, I know for damn sure he knows it. Why does he continue to shove this zone scheme down the throat where we don't particularly have the personnel to execute it appropriately? That's kind of where I'm at. But at the end of the day, I mean, we won. So while I think that we should still point out some of the inefficiencies with this team, I think we should still scream the positives. And the positives are that Buffalo is 7-3. We ultimately end up looking at the remainder of their schedule. We have a quick turnaround right now, folks. We have the Houston Texans on Thursday. All right. So if you are unaware, I'm live Monday through Friday at 10:15 a.m. EST. I'm going to start the Texans preview probably on Tuesday. So I have a lot of work to do on this early week, followed by the Steelers, who have been struggling. They did beat Cincinnati, though, followed by a Joe Burrow returning from Cincinnati type game, a potential revenge game for New England. It's time for us to lock in. So say, for example, you're just discovering me right now, folks. I ask that you hit that subscribe button, you turn on bell notifications, and you join me live tomorrow as I unpack this previous game in detail. Now, I do want to remind you once again that I am giving away a Dalton Kincaid signed rookie card tomorrow morning on my live reaction or post-game reaction. In order to be eligible, you must be a subscriber to this YouTube channel, and you must be present tomorrow morning. I will be picking a winner based off of the live chat. Once that is all said and done, I have a Khalil Shakir jersey I'm giving away this upcoming week. I have a James Cook signed jersey I'm giving away the following. I have a signed Joey Bosa helmet that I'm giving away the following. I'm Bills Mafia Santa Claus when it comes into signed memorabilia. So do not miss out on your opportunity. Folks, before I get you out of here, I need to give a giant shout out to our good friends, Sleeper Picks. I'm sitting here watching the Kansas City Chiefs and Denver Broncos game, and I have a parlay cooking right now on this one. And you could have parlays going for Sunday Night Football every single week when you sign up for Sleeper. Signing up, you get $20 for free. So your first parlay is basically on Sleeper. Go on ahead and check it out. Terms and conditions apply. You will thank me later. Guys, sound off in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this one. And go Bills. We'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.